Alright. Excuse me. Alright, guys. Fantastic beginning. That should be good, I think. Maybe? I don't know. Hold on. I'm still trying to figure out if the camera view is good. I guess I could always take a shot and then go look at it and see if it worked out alright, but I'm going to wing it and try and shoot the whole video on a guesstimation of pitch of camera angles. Hopefully it works out. You think I know what I'd be doing by now, right? Alright. I've said that enough. Alright. So, the CR01 by Tamaya. This thing is heavily modified from stock. I never owned it stock. I got it used in a trade. I didn't know I was getting it. I kind of always wanted one, but never really looked at one really close to find out the particulars about the gearing and the wheelbase and the bodies and how this thing's made. It is not awful by any means. And every time I talk about a vehicle, when I had the CC01 on the bench, an SCX10, the Sawback. I don't think I've done many overviews of vehicles, but every time I talk to them, I talk about another vehicle. I'm comparing it to an SCX10 every time, because SCX10 is the king dog in my opinion. I'm sorry, it's just so well supported out there. Springs versus leafs, all that, blah blah blah. The wheel adjustability. SCX10 is king. So every time I do one of these, I'm comparing it to an SCX10. So right away, it's definitely heavier, but I got, believe it or not, a quarter pound of weight in each front tire, because basically the chassis setup. It's like a the chassis setup is kind of like almost like an AX10. I have one kicking around here somewhere that I actually plan on. Excuse me, Jesus. Plan on using. Molly's chewing a bone. If you're wondering what that other noise is, I plan on using it for. Or I'm going to steal the plate, the tranny plate out of it, and then put it into the Sawback. Oh, this would have went way better if I would have thought about this before, but with the magic of editing, I could probably cut this time down, unless my banter sounds funny. Then if it seems comical enough, I will keep it in the movie. But so far, repetitive fail here, trying to find the AX10 chassis, which is sitting downstairs. I'll be right back. All right. Excuse me, Jesus, got a frog in my throat tonight. So I got the AX10 chassis just real quick. So, as it looks, it's facing a different direction than the other truck. But if you look at that, that's pretty close to that, and the way they set it up with the links. And then they take like an SCX10 chassis, fatten it, and then throw it on top. That's where all your weight comes from. That's the major issue. I looked at it over and over again. It can be done where you get rid of the top, and there could be upgrade parts out there that I am unaware of, which there's tons of stuff I am unaware of. The suspension, of course, is, oh, that's the next topic. Okay, we'll stick the chassis for now, and we'll move on after the chassis is done. So yeah, it looks like basically an AX10 base chassis on the bottom, and they put a big-ass set of frame rails up top. I'm sure they could be cut down, drilled out to lighten them up. I still don't know what I'm going to do. The bumper's beautiful and works well, but I guess it's on the front. It's not that important to lose weight there, but I'm still running this box, the Tupperware container that came with it. I have the lid for it, but it's not waterproof. It's still open on the bottom and stuff like that. Excuse me. Plus, it's a goat. What is that thing in there? Censored. Past. I can't read the second word. It's all messed up. Crawler, Novak, brushless motor. It is I think I was told an 18.5 turn or something like that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 18.5 turn. Censored motor. Non-waterproof, which isn't good for me. So that's coming out. I'm going to put, I believe, either an AE2 or an SV3 in it. Of course, on a DeWalt, I'll probably stick to 2-cell with this truck. Not because of strength or durability out of the truck. It seems fine, tough-wise so far. It's just that it's not going to be a fast truck. I don't need wheel speed with this. This is definitely a crawler for me anyways, until I get the upper chassis figured out, because I guess it's because it's got this. I'm doing too much thinking while I'm talking. I'm sorry. I was thinking about how the suspension works. You can ditch these and go to a spring like I have on the other side. I did this. This is the, I think, a rear shock off a slash 4x4. I can't remember, but it's to help get rid of the torque twist. And then when I'm on hill climbs, it's going to get rid of the sag in the rear. I have super soft springs on the other side. The torque twist in this thing's amazingly bad. I guess the cantilever suspension that comes with it gets rid of it, but the previous owner removed it. He does have a new set for me that he found while moving or cleaning or something. He has those. I will get those off him and put it on. I'll do a video when I do that. I maybe should have, could have waited. But suspension-wise, it's got tons of flex. I have no complaints about that at all. Hopefully you guys can see that in there. That's decent. Can't complain about that. Because you can pick these up for pretty darn cheap. Almost a new one for like $200 I've heard rumors of. So used ones, you can probably pick up used ones pretty damn cheap. I got this in a trade myself. It's got the upgraded aluminum lockouts on the rear. Aluminum links, as I'm sure you could tell. What else? Drive shafts are on there. I'm running the Axial 2 wheels, but these are the stock tires I've been told. What do they say on them? Tamiya. Lighting is terrible in here. Always has been. Probably always will be. There we go. Vice Crawler. Some of you were probably already shouting that before I got to it. Vice Crawler, man! Vice Crawler, what's wrong with you? So yeah, this thing will be getting either an AE2 or an SV3, maybe an XL5, because I got a drawer full of those things. Not full, I'm not throwing them away or anything, they don't have drag brake, and you got that double tap reverse. Drives me nuts. But they're waterproof, so it might end up in here. So let's focus on suspension a little bit. So like I said, it came with a cantilever suspension, which I'd never seen because it wasn't on it when I got it. So I got the springs, and then the stock shocks, the one that, they slow it down a bit. And, okay, that's the bad one. That was a bad example. So that's a pretty good drop. It's nice and slow. It's decent. Like, you don't get bounce with this truck. It doesn't bounce. The front corner, probably, that one needs to be rebuilt. So I guess, and the battery tray is up there. Big, heavy battery tray. I run the 5,000 Venoms pretty much all the time now. I tried other bats, Dynamax and Onyx and things. They're cheap, 40, 50 bucks for 5,000 mod 2S, like 35C. That's a great price for a battery, but if it only lasts you like 10, 15 trail runs or 20 trail runs and is dead 3 months later or whatever, that's a piece of crap battery. I have Venoms. Molly, I love you too, but go lay down. This Venom with the top leads out of it, this is from my Slash days. You'd have to go to the beginning of my videos. The very beginning, back when I had my Slash and doing front flips and back flips with it. I love my Slash. That thing was a money pit. Just money pit. But this is back from those days. This thing still holds 4,500 mod, still puts out a good C rating. It started off with 50C constant, 100C burst. $100 for one of these bats. I got newer ones. That one's only a 20C. 50 or 60 bucks for one of those. And then I also run, oh, that's a terrible looking bat. Believe me, that's almost brand new. That's a 5,000 mAh 3-cell, 35C I believe, yep. That was just under 100 bucks. I bet you in 3 years I still have this battery. None of my other batteries will last that long. I love Venoms, man. You get what you pay for when it comes to batteries. It's worth the extra couple bucks. Or damn near double the price, let's face it, for a good bat that lasts you 2-3 years instead of 2-3 months, because that's a big difference. Okay, what else? There's plastic gears in the diffs as far as I know. Do you guys want a better look at the front? Get out of there, you knock down the GoPro, I'll have to throw you outside in minus 20 degrees something or other. Yeah, you're so pretty. Friggin' Molly, always wanting attention. So there's a little bit better of a look at the front end. How the suspension works. How the steering works. I really like that front guard on the suspension. There's all kinds of things that make this truck look and feel clunky, but when you get out on the trail and drive it, it's decently capable. Capability of a rig, I will always say, will come down to traction and weight distribution. Well, power a little bit, wheel speed matters sometimes, but you can have all the wheel speed and power you want. Maybe Penguin would argue with me, but you can have all the power and wheel speed you want, but if you don't have traction to the ground, you're not going anywhere. Quality set of tires, maybe. I don't know, I've only ran these in the summer, so I'll have to see how they do in the winter. That's about it, all I can think of. I got weight in the front, none in the back. Plans for the future, like I said, the SV3 is coming out. Oh, it's got an Airtronics servo in it. Never seen one before, don't know how powerful it is. I have to do some research on that thing. Not waterproof as well, so digital high-tech waterproof will go in there. SP3 or an AE2, I'll have to waterproof the AE2, and I want to get the ESC down lower somewhere. See if I can hide it in beside the transmission or something like that. There's got to be, oh yeah, there's some room in there. I'll get it down into the cage. I got to lose some of this weight up top. The plastic's definitely going to go. The ESC is going to get into the cage down with the motor and tranny somehow. Battery will end up probably staying on top, and then I'll see what I can do about dremeling out or carving out, maybe even eliminating the chassis rails completely. Look at that later. So what I'm thinking about the suspension and the chassis rails is making it more like an AX10 setup. Get rid of these springs, get rid of these shocks, go to a single shock like this, maybe move it forward up and I can chop all this stuff off the back. Yeah, there's body posts and stuff, but they can be moved to other places. There's just a lot of weight up top that needs to be either distributed better or removed completely. But other than that, I like this thing. Measuring tape. Wheelbase. People always talk wheelbase. I enjoy talking wheelbase as well. It is important depending on tire size and what your terrain is. Are you an articulator? Are you a hill climber? Blah, blah, blah. It matters. Suspension setup, tire setup, all around good truck. Just under 11 and a half. I'd say 11 and 3/8. It should be stock, but I don't know. They are upgraded links, so that could be longer than stock. That's about it. Great setup. It's a little bit picky on the battery output. If I throw in one of my lower bats that's older, like only 20C, a 5,000 mAh bat will trip this ESC out at like 2,000, 2,500. It'll start glitching like it's hitting lipo cutoff. And then you throw in a quality bat like a Venom with a high output, like a 50C, it'll drain the bat down to like 4,000. But even then, this is a very hungry ESC. It eats mAh a lot. It's not the motor, it's the ESC problem. It's too sensitive to low voltage. I don't know if it's adjustable or not. It could be, but again, I'm not big on Novak just because not waterproof, way more wires than I need. Yeah, I'll change it up. We'll get into some Castle, maybe Traxxas, but I want Castle in here. DeWalt motor. Gearing, I don't even know. I've never had the motor out of the transmission. You guys can see it in there. I can't tell what's in there either. But on the 18.5 turn 2S, and I punch it just above walking speed. You guys have seen that in videos before. Alright. I think I've about covered everything I can think of. Covers all the electronics. Well, the receiver, there's none in it right now. I just throw in an axial or what's the other one? My random one. Spectrum. I got a Spectrum one that came out of the twin hammers. That's about all I can think of, guys. Let me know what you think. I can tell you, my next video is probably going to be, you know what, I won't spoil it. You'll see it then. Alright, thanks for watching.